They thought 100 Germans could stop me. The city block was a war zone, every corner swarming with enemy soldiers. Windows were shattered, smoke rose in thick clouds, and the smell of gunpowder and burning wood hung heavy in the air. I crouched behind a pile of rubble, my heart hammering, every muscle tense. The Germans were well armed, disciplined, and confident that no lone American could outsmart them. But confidence can be a dangerous thing when faced with someone unpredictable. I had only my wits, my instincts, and the one skill that no one expected, my precision, honed from years as a bowling champion. That day, my bowling skills became more than sport. They became survival, strategy, and the instrument of victory. Hi, I'm James Walker, and I'm 96 years old. Most people today can't even imagine what it was like to be in the middle of a battlefield, the constant tension, the instant need to act. But that day is etched into my memory, clear as if it happened yesterday. I was young, just in my early 20s, and yet every decision, every movement felt like the difference between life and death. The Germans had fortified the city block, turning it into what seemed like an impenetrable fortress. My objective was simple in words, but terrifying in reality. Clear the block, survive, and protect anyone still in the area. And I knew I had exactly 20 minutes to do it. The first thing I noticed as I approached was the eerie silence between the bursts of gunfire. Civilians had fled, leaving abandoned homes and streets. Cars lay overturned, windows gaped open like empty eyes, and the occasional sound of a collapsing wall echoed through the alleys. It felt like the city itself was holding its breath. I moved carefully, my eyes scanning for movement, memorizing enemy positions, calculating angles, and identifying potential cover. Every detail mattered. Even the smallest misstep could be fatal. Before the war, I had been known in my town as a bowling champion. I could line up pins with precise calculations, feel the momentum in my hands, and release the ball with perfect timing. Little did anyone know, those hours spent on the lanes would teach me the patience, focus, and timing I would need to survive this battle. As I crouched behind a crumbling wall, I remembered the rhythm of the approach, the release, the strike. I would need that rhythm now, not for sport, but for life. I slipped across the street, staying low in the shadows. The first building I needed to clear was a small apartment block, 3 Germans stationed inside. A loose barrel lay nearby, and I rolled it with calculated precision. It clattered loudly into the doorway, scattering debris. The soldiers shouted, guns raised, looking for the source of the disturbance. I used the moment of confusion to slip in, moving swiftly, taking control of the ground floor. Precision, timing, and observation were my weapons. I avoided unnecessary confrontation, using the environment as an ally. Overturned tables, loose bricks, and barrels became my tools to distract and disorient. Every minute was a test of nerve. I moved from alley to alley, building to building, each step calculated, each breath measured. In one narrow street, 5 soldiers patrolled, their boots echoing against the rubble. I crouched behind a wall, picked up a large stone, and threw it perfectly to knock over a stack of crates near them. The noise startled the soldiers, causing them to scatter and allowing me to move forward undetected. My mind worked like a machine, constantly calculating probabilities, movements, and angles. Every action created a ripple of chaos, slowly unraveling their control over the block. The clock was ticking, each minute amplifying the pressure. By the 10th minute, I had cleared several buildings, but the Germans began to catch on that something unusual was happening. How could a single American dismantle their defenses so efficiently? They expected brute force, frontal attacks, not clever improvisation. I exploited every advantage, using debris as barricades, throwing objects to create distractions, and forcing them into positions that left them vulnerable. It was like playing chess with lives at stake. Every move had consequences. The turning point came when a German officer spotted me from a partially destroyed building. his rifle raised, signaling his men to concentrate fire. I had only seconds to react. I picked up a long metal rod and, visualizing the perfect trajectory, rolled it down the stairs like a strike. It collided with a stack of ammunition boxes, creating a deafening explosion. The soldiers panicked, running for cover, and the officer was thrown off balance. In that moment, the tide shifted. Chaos replaced confidence. Strategy replaced numbers. One move, executed with precision, changed everything. I pressed on, adrenaline coursing through my veins. Each building I entered, each alley I crossed, became part of a carefully choreographed plan. The Germans were skilled, but predictable, and my unpredictability was my greatest weapon. I advanced methodically, clearing floors, knocking over obstacles, and creating diversions. My hands moved with the calm focus of a bowler on the lanes, despite the chaos around me. The difference was, here a miscalculation meant death, not a missed pin. By the 15th minute, the Germans' morale had collapsed. Soldiers fled, tripping over rubble, firing blindly, and panicking under the pressure. I continued to move forward, taking control, clearing the block step by step. The impossible was unfolding before my eyes. What once seemed like an overwhelming force was now fractured, disorganized, and retreating. My mind remained sharp, focused on precision and timing, guiding each action, each strike. In the final minutes, only a handful of Germans remained entrenched, desperate and exhausted. I approached carefully, calculating each move, using the environment and my instincts to force surrender or retreat. By the 20th minute, the block was entirely under American control. The Germans were either captured or fled, leaving a scene of chaos and destruction that bore witness to the improbable victory. I stood amidst the rubble, exhausted, surveying the aftermath, realizing that what had seemed impossible was now complete. Looking back, it wasn't brute force that won the day. It was ingenuity, creativity, and courage. My bowling skills, once a trivial hobby, had become the instrument of victory. Precision, timing, and calmness under pressure mattered more than sheer numbers or firepower. That day taught me lessons I carried for decades. Always trust your skills, think differently, and stay calm under pressure. One person with courage and ingenuity can change the outcome of impossible situations. At 96 years old, telling this story still brings back the vivid memories, the smoke, the gunfire, the adrenaline, the chaos. I remember the fear, yes, but also the focus, the creativity, and the sheer determination. That city block became more than a battlefield. It became a testament to what human ingenuity and courage can achieve. Every move, every decision, every calculated risk mattered. And while the war eventually ended, the lessons of that day remained with me. Courage can come from the most unexpected places, and sometimes the smallest actions can have the biggest impact. If you enjoyed this story and felt the tension, the strategy, and the courage it took to survive against impossible odds, then you're going to want to stick around for more. Stories like these, real-life heroics, unexpected skills turning the tide of battle, and moments of sheer bravery are exactly what we bring to life on this channel. Every episode is crafted to make you feel like you're right there on the battlefield, experiencing the adrenaline, the fear, and the triumph as if you were a part of it. So here's what you can do to make sure you never miss a story like this. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. That way, you'll be the first to witness more incredible WW2 stories, personal accounts, and heroic acts that history almost forgot. If this story gave you chills, amazement, or inspired you in any way, make sure to smash that like button. It lets us know you want more stories delivered with the same intensity and cinematic detail. And don't forget, sharing is caring. Share this video with your friends, family, or anyone who loves history, strategy, or incredible true stories. Every share helps this story reach more people and keeps these heroic moments alive for generations. Finally, I want to hear from you. What would you have done if you were in my shoes? Could you have cleared a city block with 100 enemy soldiers waiting at every turn? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one, and I love seeing how people would react in situations like these. Your engagement keeps the story alive, and your discussion helps bring history to life. So remember, like, share, and subscribe, because there are more untold stories, more battles, and more moments of courage waiting to be revealed. Stick with us, and I promise every video will take you straight into the heart of history, the action and the heroics that defined a generation. Don't miss out. Hit those buttons and join us on this journey.